Hi, this is Robert Plenick, the owner of brutalirongym. A question I often get is when someone's trying to blend together strength and bodybuilding, so kind of like powerlifting and bodybuilding training, is what do they do on like a secondary like bench day or secondary press day? So typically in the programming there'll be a heavy kind of barbell bench press day. Then the second day, sometimes people will do like overhead work, sometimes they'll do a bench press variation. So something that I will do on that kind of second day is use the concept of a pre-exhaust, but I'll use it specific to chest growth, where I'll do an isolated movement for my chest and then do a big compound press. This helps me hyper-focus on my chest, make sure my chest is growing, but it still allows me to practice my pressing technique, so I get some more technical benefit of pressing, but I get the hypertrophy effect, the muscle growth effect from the chest isolation. So you'll see here behind me, I have our chest fly machine set up with kind of a foam pad that's going to be like my back support. It puts me in a stretch position. I'm going to do flies on there, and then I'm going to be moving to a reverse banded bench press. So I'll go ahead and do a set and then talk a little bit more about it. But the idea of this is it lets me do an isolated movement for my chest, really get the bodybuilder effect from my chest. And that'll be this first movement here. So I've already done some warm-up sets. This is actually kind of like one of my heavier working sets. So I like to get the handles set. Then I'm going to actually kind of scoot my butt forward, grab that foam roller with my back, and then kind of scoot up and back. That lets me get a really good arch position, puts my chest under a good stretch load. So I'm going to scoop underneath to kind of accept the weight in an easier position. And now I'll go ahead and kind of do the movement like I normally would. So I'm going to go for 10, getting a real good stretch and squeeze just through the chest. I want to stay under control and make sure the chest is taking the brunt of the effort. Try not to use my front shoulders, try not to use momentum. Just really let that chest stretch and squeeze. So typically I'll do somewhere between 10 to 15 reps of this, because on the press with the barbell, we're going to be doing a lower rep range. So this one's good for kind of the higher, more endurance-based stress into the chest rather than heavy weight load. So this is still pretty good weight, but the idea is to be nice and slow and controlled, stretch and squeeze. So if I had to give a time frame for that exercise, it's probably going to be 30 to 40 seconds of time and attention, maybe a little bit longer than that, but that's about the time frame you look for. So whatever reps fit into 30 to 45 seconds. Now we have set up here is my reverse band bench pressing. And actually, let me get this other angle. Due to the sunlight, this might actually be better. So you can see the whole setup. And what I'm going to be looking to do here is somewhere between 5 and 10 reps. Typically, it's around 5. So this reverse band setup, you'll see the bands I have here. As you go down in the bench, it makes it a little bit lighter. And then as you press back up, it goes back to the normal weight because the bands actually kind of lose tension. This allows me to still have a very heavy variation of benching, even though my chest is pretty exhausted. So it just helps me create more damage in my chest while still maximizing the stress through my shoulder joints and triceps. So I'll go ahead and get a set of this in. Okay. Find my hand position. I'm going to pick up my shoulder blades, kind of put them together. Then I'm going to push through my legs to create trap pressure in my upper back. Keep my shoulders pulled away from my ears. Okay. Okay. Ooh. So I was able to get 10 because I actually talked a little longer between those than I normally would, but still a good, heavy, nice stimulus. So this is an idea of how to blend together strength practice for technique while still getting volume you need for bench press after growth, hypertrophy. So do a chest isolation. It can be a machine fly, it can be a dumbbell fly, whatever you have available, cable flies, cable crossovers. Then pair it with a press, whether that's a barbell press or a dumbbell press. You can play with different angles, different stimulus like the bands, but that's kind of the idea. Do a chest isolation before your chest press. Allows you to get the best of both worlds. Okay, if you want any more information, check out our daily podcast. It's on every podcast platform under the name Brutal Iron Gym. We have over 100,000 downloads and like 960 episodes, so pretty awesome resource. So check that out, and then you can always email us at brutalirongym@gmail.com. Okay, I'm gonna recover my breathing so you can end the video and give this a try. Thanks for watching.